Hello, I'm Barbara Ingrassia of Manage Copyright. Let's continue our countdown to Public Domain Day, January 1st, 2019. Let's explore the literary works published in the United States in 1923 that will enter the public domain on January 1st because their copyrights expired in 2018. And so they will be free from the shackles of the copyright restrictions. There's a tidal wave of works entering on January 1st. Books, poetry, magazines, newspapers, plays, fiction and nonfiction. There's something for everyone. And let's take a peek at just a sample of those titles that are becoming available to us in the United States for public domain use on January 1st, 2019. The Prophet by Gibran. Virginia Woolf's short story, Mrs. Dalloway in Bond Street. Walter Scott's Ivanhoe. A Lost Lady by Willa Cather, as well as an essay and several of her poems. Agatha Christie's novel, The Murder on the Links. One of the first textbooks in anthropology by Alfred Lewis Kroeber. The Ego and the Id by Sigmund Freud. Ruth Sawyer's first children's book, The Tale of the Enchanted Bunnies. And Laura Lee Hope's The Bobbsey Twins Camp Out. Edward Everett Hale's The Man Without a Country. And Edith Wharton's A Son at the Front. Winston Churchill's The World Crisis, a 500-page plus tome. But also that year, 1923, Woodrow Wilson's The Road Away from Revolution. And that was an article published in the Atlantic Monthly. The play, St. Joan, by George Bernard Shaw. Stella Dallas by Olive Higgins Prouty, a particular favorite for those of us in Massachusetts. She was born and raised right here in Worcester, Massachusetts. Jessie Conrad's A Handbook of Cookery for a Small House, as well as her husband's The Rover. Now I wonder if one could have influenced the other. What she fed him, does that affect the rover? We can explore that and respond. Fanny Farmer's The Boston Cooking School Cookbook. Robert Frost's New Hampshire, which includes the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. And very fittingly, William Carlos Williams' The Great American Novel. An Excel spreadsheet of titles, many more titles, has been prepared by the Center for the Study of the Public Domain at Duke University School of Law. And so we'll have a link to that. Now we've been able to read these, access these. We've even owned the their physical containers. But now we can release them, the words from the pages, and interact from them. 95 years is a long time, and so much has happened in those 95 years. But now we will be able to interact with those words, answer them within their pages with our own annotations and our own comments, give them new lives and new words to say. They're going to be fully accessible for our taking on Google Books, Happy Trust, Project Gutenberg, the Internet Archive. Now, you might be saying, well, I can already see them there. Well, in the United States, they haven't been free for the taking for our interaction and response to them. Imagine being able to expand on Mrs. Dalloway in Bond Street by Virginia Woolf. Expand that into a full novel or a film. Or how about rewriting the ending to Agatha Christie's The Murder on the Links? Whom do you think really did it? Or being able to create a screenplay of Freud's The Ego and the Id. Can you imagine some of the interactions you could create there? To compare and contrast Churchill's The World Crisis and Wilson's The Road Away from Revolution, maybe intermixing them and having them speak to each other and debate each other on the page or on the stage. Theater groups can freely perform St. Joan without a license. Book clubs can easily access works from 1922 and 23 and see how the gap of 20 years, what perspective that gives us. Or writing groups can post challenges and contests for rewriting works from 1923. The advances in technology and the growth of the internet have made it easy for any of us to add our words, our voices to those 1923 works and to share them in print, on stage, on screen, online. We'll finally be able to hear the musical work by Eric Whitacre. In 1999, Eric Whitacre accepted a commission to put music to Frost's Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Well, if you remember the significance of that year, 1998, 1999, with the extension of the Copyright Act, the Sonny Bono Copyright Extension Act, that meant that Whitacre's work was caught in copyright limbo. And now it will be able to be heard by all of us. So where will your creativity take you as of Public Domain Day, January 1st, 2019? I'm Barbara Ingrassia of managecopyright.com. Manage copyright. Don't let it manage you.